Okay, I see we've got, there we go. Okay, I was worried Venom didn't start quite the same, but I think they'll get synced up in just a moment. I mean, whenever you're dealing with that much connections between two different computers and the internet in between everyone, getting everyone synced up right at the exact same time is always very difficult. But I know that the Speed Gaming crew behind the scenes are always very good about connecting them up. We're probably not going to see too much difference between the two of these runners in, Yoshi Island, and then when we get to Donut Plains, very similar. We're going to see probably, maybe Morton's Castle is one of the big ones to watch, because that is very easy not to get a perfect flight there. This is actually one of my favorite levels, Yoshi Island 3, just because it's just such a platforming at its very best.
Yeah, you're 100% right there as well about Morton's Castle. Honestly, I think that's probably the first place we're going to see that first divergence, potentially, but obviously we're looking for a good Morton fly. It really does start to kick off in World 2.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there's any other major gatekeeper points where very slight mistakes are gonna be very punishing?
Well, as you mentioned, Y3, it is one of those big things that you've got to get over whenever you're learning this game. It's a lot of platforming, but even Castle 1 as well. If you're going aggressive in that first room and you're not super comfortable, it is very, very easy to die there. And super hard to optimize as well. We're going to see that.
I did see before these two racers had started today, they were both on the Super Mario World practice cart, and I saw venomplay practicing Roy Fly, because I know that is particularly punishing in this race, and that's just at the end of Forest of Illusion.
Yeah, so we're seeing Dots take on room 1 here. He's probably going to be looking for a 281 door. Does look to be on good pace to get it. Gets it very comfortably, actually. That was a nice room 1.
Venomplay now following up.
Hitting a 279, not taking it just as aggressively as Dots.
It'll be really interesting to see, in these races, if that 2 seconds is going to really add up, or because if they're flawless otherwise, that 2 seconds is going to make all the difference, or if it's going to be one of those things of making choices for more consistent plays, more safe plays to make sure you get through, then those 2 seconds is not going to matter. And it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes.
So yeah, looking at this match, these 2 or 3 seconds that Dots is very likely to be gaining for Venom every so often probably won't be decisive like each sort of set of gains, but Dots probably would be a favourite to keep extending his lead as we go forward. But Venom will have to take advantage of any opportunities that Dots creates for him, otherwise he is going to find it hard this evening.
Absolutely. And I just want to bring up, so Dots, he's got a personal best of 33 minutes and 25 seconds, so 33 and a half minutes. And then Venomplay, our other runner, I had him up a second ago, and of course, now that I start talking about it, there he is, 35 minutes and 46 seconds. So 33 minutes versus 35 minutes. That 2 minutes. 2 minutes is an eternity in some of these races.
Yeah, you're right. It is a pretty substantial lead for Dots going into this, but I think 2 or 3 minutes is still within that range, just about of just standard race variance. And if Dots took this aggressively and it didn't work out, could create some opportunities for Venomplay. Like 35 in a race isn't unheard of. And actually, in most cases, 35 is respectable. So But yeah, we're seeing Dots powering that P switch, switching out that shell. It just makes sense. You can lose your shell against enemies. So Venom holding on to it, he's super risky here. But hopefully he can hold on to it. Yeah, it's just so easy to lose that last fish.
Mhm. I do want to quickly mention. We see venomplay. It looks as though venomplay is slightly behind, but if you also look at their timers, you'll notice that venomplay's timer is about 5 seconds behind. As far as I know, Venom didn't have any kind of false start or a lag there. Do you know? Have you gotten any word that there was a problem with his start or anything like that?
I'm not 100% sure, but at least comparing the timers, we're looking at about a difference of about 6 seconds or so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Dot's getting the fast takeoff. It's not something that he should find super difficult, but it is just one of those things that can be missed pretty much just as we're seeing. It is one of those things that's quite easy to miss, but also is consistent. It's a weird sort of paradox.
Dotsarecool made that fast takeoff. Venomplay unfortunately didn't catch it, so he had to turn around and catch it kind of going backwards and then ready himself to go forwards again.
Yeah, it would definitely be the safer approach to continuing on and trying to get P-speed that way.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's really like no long stretch in. Is that Donut Plains 3? Yeah, that's Donut Plains 3. There's no long stretch after those first carousels.
Yeah, so you will sort of be trying to dodge Koopas. There is a fairly decent backup you can do. But again, if it's not something that you're aware of going into this, it's probably a good idea just to take it safe. And this being New Star World, we don't grab a Yoshi in Y4, although certainly grabbing a Yoshi, or DP4, but certainly grabbing a Yoshi there could be on the table. It would be a super safe strat for VD1, but we're seeing Star Castle 2. Dots Room 1 there, pretty unique, I think, just to him. Save winning game a second by doing it that way.
Rather than doing the spin jump, is that what you're referring to? Or what's the uniqueness?
Way he does the normal fly up to the pipe.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, bringing the spring. It was a really nice kick. Yeah, that was really good from Dots.
Oh, Venomplay nailing that fly, getting the spring, making it all the way up.
Yeah, and typically if someone's unprepared against a player like Dots, it's somewhere where you can easily lose time, but Venom staying very close. Didn't tune in second. Very well done. Making it look so easy, and I tell you, it really isn't. It's one of those things. There's so much that goes into it, and especially that spring grab. I've seen the best players mess it up quite regularly. Yeah, we're heading on into World 3. This level is kind of unique in the way that you approach it, at least in No Star World. We're going to see Dots here try and get flight just before this block in order to get up there. Yeah, absolutely nailed it there.
And when you were talking before about whether or not you're grabbing the Yoshi in Donut Plains 4, it is for this first level that Dotsarecool has made it through, and Venom is now flying through.
That shell, that shell made me a bit anxious there. But yeah, if you don't get that flight up there, it can become a complete mess. Either by just trying to regain P speed too fast, or just things can really start to go wrong. And I've seen it far too many times, people losing 2 or 3 minutes. And then if you lose Cape as well, you could be in a lot of trouble. But yeah, having Yoshi is a super safe way to approach that. You can dismount off him in pretty much any position to get up there with Cape without. You can even fly up there with the blue shell. So yeah, this is the exciting part of the run of New Star World. We have a couple of flyovers up top, so if there are any questions from chat at all, probably a good time to ask them.
You know what? I actually I've got the chat in front of me, and it's Lord Mordheim or Maryheim? Lord Maryheim. I'm never gonna get names right. He's got a question. Is Dotsarecool talking about DOTS colored dots or Dippin' Dots? That's something like we never talk about in commentary, is people's screen names. Sometimes it's just easily recognizable, but a lot of times it's like, wait a minute, I have no idea how people come up with some of these names.
Well, I would say, at least for dots, at least from the clues I've seen, I believe it is referring to the candy. Now, being from the UK, Ireland, I've never heard of dots in that context, but I believe it's something to do with that. And I think it's a username that he may have chosen a very long time ago as well. There's some evidence to suggest that. The P on the end of his Twitch username also is sort of a callback to that, I think. I think he had once said to me that he made that account a long time ago, and then 10-year-old him forgot the password or whatever.
I know I personally went through like 3 or 4 usernames before I finally landed on Durwood, so I wouldn't be surprised at all to see that from basically everyone. I do know venomplay, just because I've been to his channel, and you see Venom from Spider-Man quite often in his motif, so I'm sure that his name is just a reference to one of his favorite superheroes.
That could be true. I actually haven't thought about it. And with venomplay being from Brazil as well, things tend not to directly translate very well. So whenever it comes to non-English speakers' usernames, sometimes I just take it with a pinch of salt and pretty much just take it at face value. But you could be right. It's actually probably true. So yeah, whenever it comes to the biggest time losses that you can face in New Star World in one go, Butterbridge 1, a death near the end of this level would be up there, along with dying to Reznor on Valley Fort, or not Valley Fort, Vanilla Fort. Well, also Valley Fort would be pretty costly, and dying to Royfly.
I mean, and just I gotta say that just the sheer disappointment in yourself when you lose to Reznor or you take a death at the end of Butterbridge 1, because these are supposedly easy things that you should be able to do. It's one thing when you screw up a very difficult trick that you know that you only had a 40% chance of completing anyway, but when you lose on Butterbridge 1, it's like, why am I even doing this? What am I doing with my life?
Yeah, so even whenever he doesn't need to, oh my goodness, oh, so good. Yeah, that was some nice swag there. But yeah, even when he doesn't need to, Dot's still tapping left through these levels. Needs the game tap left to claim free world record.
Now, are we using Speedruns Live as kind of the official timing for these races in these brackets?
Well, we kind of are and we're not. So we're using official SRL time for the retimes, but even if we didn't, it would work out exactly the same. At 2.2 seconds, or the 2.2 seconds difference from SRL time to our standard time is consistent, but at least in terms for the bot, I mean, if say if someone forgets to dot run, that's not going to be the official time. What their actual gameplay time was is what matters. So we are using SRL time, but if someone has an issue with the bots, then we're not. So, but any matches that are close will be retimed anyway. So,
Okay.
but most matches probably won't be within like 2 seconds. But you can be absolutely guaranteed that we are going to have a bunch that are like too close to call. Always happen. It's guaranteed. So will Dot switch to fire here? Does switch to fire. So the approach for room 2, it's pretty much 50-50 among top runners whether we switch to fire or not. I'm an advocate of switching to fire, but the cave strat through this room is faster and has probably been about for forever. See how the defenses go.
I do want to, this is a subject you and I have talked about more than once, that flying can be faster than running.
Oh yeah.
Well, and I know that the top speed for flying is like 51 units or 51 speed units, whatever the Super Mario World miles per hour unit is or whatever. What do you know what it is for just on the ground running off the top of your head, or is that something we need to look up?
I should know the speed range for running. I think it might be 44 to 46, though I'm probably wrong. But for flying, it's between 47 and 51. And even if you're flying at the slowest speed compared to running at the fastest, flying will always be faster than just running or like spin. Well, actually, no. That isn't. The next thing I was going to say wasn't true. I was going to say it's faster than like spin flying and always holding right, but that's not true because your speed's going to average between 47 and 51. And that's obviously better than just 47 consistent. But yeah, telling the difference between these flight speeds is very, very tough. Oh, it's 40s. Oh yeah, actually, I forgot running speed isn't even like an equal amount of frames per speed. It goes 47, 48, 47, 48, 49, whereas hip speed, I'm not sure if it goes in order, but I believe you have like one chance per speed. It's so hard to, I don't know. I should know.
I mean, this is where we're getting extremely technical to how you can maximize the absolute best speeds and cut off just little frames here and there.
Now, we have a pretty big moment coming up. Also, I'm not sure if Dot's got wings. I looked away for a second, but this requires good execution and no bad luck, and Dot's delivering on that. Yeah, that was very well done. First try clip in there. So what I said about good execution and no bad luck, the no bad luck part of it comes from your sub-pixel. And even if you execute that correctly, if you get in that corner and your sub-pixel's manipulated the way you want it to, you still have a 25% chance of getting kicked out. And that's something that we can't control. So it's always disappointing to see someone get first try clipped, but then get kicked out due to bad luck. But yeah, that was a pretty good FY2 for Dots. Also, just want to mention that Venom is really, really holding up here. Dots has had a good run, and Venom is very, very close behind.
You know, we're going to see this a few times throughout the bracket where we have two...
Sorry.
Oh no.
That's what I'm talking about.
Where Venom just got kicked out there, yeah.
But can't win 75%. That's horrible to see, but sorry, continue.
Oh, I was just going to say, we're going to see this a lot where we have two very, very good runners, but, some of these strategies being very hard that maybe someone hasn't learned or hasn't gotten comfortable with yet. So their personal best, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 minutes later, their consistency might be a little bit lower. So even though we're going to see some really amazing runs, some of these races are going to be decided before we even get started.
Wow. That was one heck of an adjustment from Dots. That was Yeah, if he didn't adjust there, he was super mega dead. He sort of did like a sort of half cape pump by holding it there. Also, we're seeing Venom get that super easy clip. At least from the perspective, if you're in this level, you've already got Yoshi, it's always going to be faster. Typically speaking, doing like if you just dedicated yourself to the easy clip, say you tried the first clip one cycle and then you sort of continue on, it's usually going to be faster because FOI2 optimally without Yoshi is pretty challenging. So generally speaking, easy clip is going to be faster, but if you've already got Yoshi at that point, it's going to be faster than just continuing through the level without doing any sort of clip.
I forget the exact number, so don't quote me here, but I did hear some people talking, and it might have actually been you in a previous commentary, where if you miss that Yoshi clip 3 times or something along those lines, then you're actually losing time over just doing the rest of the level optimally without the clip.
I'm not sure about how many times you can fail it, but that sounds about right. Not 3, it would be 4. But it certainly isn't more than 4. But yeah, 3, 3.5, 4, anywhere in that range sounds pretty much bang on.
Well, and you said it's a 25% chance to fail it the first time if you're doing everything perfect, and then the second time 50-50, third time 50-50, correct? It just goes to a 50-50 going forward. So
well, it can go to 50-50 if you drop your Yoshi. Although I'm not actually 100% sure if getting kicked out it's back to 50, but I don't think it does. Someone can confirm in chat. Yeah, but the murmurs in chat regarding Dots' run here, this is a good run. It's very, very accurate to say that this has been pretty good so far.
So Stuyvesant is saying in the chat that it's 75% as long as you hold on to Yoshi. If Yoshi gets to the ground, then it switches to a 50-50.
Yeah, we actually see a very similar thing for FY1 Wings. Again, where you're required to have that, very solid execution, but the game can just refuse you. Okay, so we're going to see Dots move on to Chocolate Secret. I imagine we're probably going to be seeing the Steven Strat. The Steven Strat being a 100% consistent way of approaching Room 1 without having to worry about football luck. Because most other approaches to this room will be somewhat dependent on not getting bad footballs. But yeah, it was a good Room 1. Seeing the Steven Strat executed the way it should be. Oh, yes. Sorry, I pronounced it incorrectly. It's actually pronounced Chocolate Secret. Meanwhile, venomplay is in the Chocolate Ghost House.
The chocolate.
Yes, exclamation mark SMW in chat will give you pretty much everything that you need to know about this tournament, including the bracket, the Discord schedule, and exclamation mark bets. Definitely, if you're outside of the US, something to look into. Speed Gaming is partnered up with buy.gg. You can wager yourself against other players for the result of this match. And one of the really, really good things about buy is that there's no conflict of interest. You're not playing against the house, which, if you're playing against the house, that can be a conflict of interest, but you're playing against other players, and they're kind of just the site that facilitates it. And that's how they make their cut. So I think it's something to look into if that sort of thing interests you.
I believe
you can also get €20 free sort of cashback bet bonus thing. It's good stuff.
I do have to say I was very sad to find out. I believe there's a notation that if you are in the United States, it's not available for you.
Yeah, it is pretty unfortunate, but who knows? Maybe sometime in the future.
Dotsarecool making it through that last room just flawlessly. It was very, very fun to watch. Oh no! Oh.
Now, this isn't the worst place to lose Cape, but certainly if he got hit again, it would be pretty drastic. But we're going to see the wall clip attempt, and damn, he was close. He was... Oh. So yeah, if going into this cutscene, you land between one of the blocks, so if you get one of the wall clip pixels, Mario will just cling to the wall, and it's for hype. It's super exciting. Something I'm a big fan of. Just so gratifying whenever you get it. Like, if you're trying to set yourself up for it and you get it, it's just, oh, so good. It's the same feeling you get whenever you get a wall jump. Like, oh, it's so good, I just control this game to my whim. But yeah, Dots continues with this very, very solid run. He's going to be grabbing Cape coming up. Then he's going to switch back to Fire, possibly to do a damage boost, but we're going to see. That all depends on Ring despawns. Okay, so switching to Fire, pretty much as I said. Telling us that he's banking on only getting the one despawn. Also, something I forgot to mention, but Venom picked up the Yoshi in Chocolate Secret 2, which, fair enough, it's actually quite safe to have Yoshi from this point. Some can go ship at VOB1 in particular. VOB1 is an absolute gift if you have Yoshi, and Dots will not be getting the V-Ring despawn. He was, okay.
Oh no, that's gonna...
This is the start of just losing all the time. Oh my goodness, that was close as well. Yeah.
He is still, I mean, he's an entire level, well, not an entire level, about half a level ahead of venomplay, but that does give Venom a chance to...
No, the level that Dots is ahead of him in is, I think, actually maybe the longest in this category. Mm-hmm. So we are looking at a lead of probably, well, over 2 minutes, I would say. But yeah, I would actually be interested to know, just even for my risk upcoming, but if you only have one power-up that you can damage, well, you only are ever going to have one power-up that you can damage boost with at that point, but if you don't get any despawns, I'd be interested to know what the best approach to that is. Assuming you're not going for just swimming right through the B-rings and getting it, which we saw Dots try, and Dots is... that's weird.
That was a little interesting maneuver there.
My goodness, Dots just hasn't had this level come together for him at all. But it's probably better that he just keeps that cape, and possibly at this point, after that sort of just slight shakiness, he's just going to get over the line. He probably doesn't have too much to worry about, but that probably is just going to be his agenda right now. Yeah, Silver, I kind of imagined that would be the way you would approach it. I'm also not sure if at that point scrolling helps. Maybe to get that second B-ring scrolling earlier, I don't know.
Do you think we're going to see Dots go for Sandbar?
Well, I mean, we certainly could. Dots can go for this, miss it, die, and still be very ahead. I sort of feel like he did go for it there, but he went for the safer strat where if you miss it, you're going to live. I can't confirm 100%, but that looked like he went for it. And if he didn't mean to go for it, he probably would have at least attempted it by that stage. So.
I know that there's a lot of discussions about the auto scroller levels. This one is like I have to say I'm far more frustrated with this level in its auto scroller nature than I am with Butter Ridge 1 with its like it actually being a auto scroller.
Yeah, I mean, sandbar is a very tough part of the run as well, and a lot of runners probably enjoy the fact that they're able to save time in an auto scroller, but it just so happens that it's one of the more difficult things right at the end of like a 30-minute run. So, although having said that, it's even worse than 96. It doesn't get much later than that. But we're going to be seeing Dots try to approach this with pretty much full speed. Okay. Dots just defying me there. Oh, did he lose a cycle? Or I don't know what happened there, but that was strange. Yeah, actually, do not know what happened there. But he wasn't at the right section. No, I tried to catch it in the restream there, but I didn't.
Oh, well, he's got the backup. He's got the backup feather. Is he gonna get it? Oh, I don't think he's gonna get it.
Probably not at this point. But
so is he gonna do a capeless Bowser fight, or is he gonna go back for a cape? Is there? I'm trying to think if there's an easy cape that he can snatch up real quick.
Yeah, there are no easy capes that he can get. He definitely will just continue onwards. But unfortunate. Yeah, so having cape there is only going to save like maybe 7 or 8 seconds over like a really solid no cape fight. Which, don't get me wrong, is challenging. It's challenging to get a sort of optimized no cape fight.
Oh, venomplay.
No.
Going for sandbar and just fortunately missing it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. There's something I was going to quickly mention as well with Venom. So we saw Venom grab that backup cape to the left. We're seeing it again. And this cape can be free, or can mostly be free. It can certainly be free if you don't go for sandbar normally. You can do a sort of double skip to get you back on the right cycle. So that cape's free, assuming that you're not like banking on sandbar, because you can't go for sandbar whenever you do that and actually save time. Actually, I think if you did sandbar, grabbing that backup cape, you get back onto the same cycle again. Seems to make sense. The courtesy sandbar.
Is that a ball skip? I couldn't tell if Bowser had stopped moving. It was. Well played. That was nice. That was nice. Did you see Bowser stop moving? I didn't. So, I mean, he really must have gotten that Bowser throw right on, like, the last frame or two, or, the first frame or two of
yeah,
Bowser stopping.
So getting it sort of on the earlier side of ball skip, it almost appears that Bowser doesn't even stop moving. It is always very close if you're attempting to go for that early hit, so...
So, I'm seeing in chat that...
Nice final hit, that was so strong. But yeah, congrats to Dots, finishing up with 34.04. Damn, that's a good start. But yeah, he's gonna continue 1-0. Sorry for interrupting you there.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm looking up stats and such. Dots. So just as a reminder, Dots' personal best is 33 minutes 25 seconds. So 34:04 is only a 30-ish second, 35. Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on, I can do basic math. 40 seconds, about 40 seconds behind. And considering this is 32 exits, I want to say, so it's a couple exits over 30 exits. So that's.
I think. Well, I mean, if you include Bowser's Castle, which it isn't an exit, at least in '96, but it is sort of a level. It would be 32. But if Dots was to reset his console now and go to the title screen, we would hopefully see 31. If we didn't see 31, Dots is probably splicing or maybe saving, or sorry, continued without saving after Fort. But like I say, if Dots reset now, we would very likely see 31.
And then where is Venom?
Yes, I'm gonna require a new Star World file set.
So Venom's personal best is right now.
So yeah, just a quick mention. So obviously this is our first match of the main tournament bracket, but this isn't actually a round 1 match. This is a round 2 match. And if I do some quick maths here, let me see. 36 minus 8, super tough. But yeah, the top 28 players, top 28 seeded players, I got a bye into round 2, with the remaining 8 players fighting it out. Only 4 will go into the round 2. And then those guys certainly have a tough challenge. All of those will be going against the top 4 seeds. That would be Louis, Maiba, Silver Star, and probably Dayswear or Seathorn. Can't remember. But yeah, it's a tough road ahead for the round 1 people, but those round 1 matches are going to be super close. I don't mean this as any disrespect, because these races actually tend to be more interesting. The sort of like B League almost. We're going to be seeing backup strats. We're going to be seeing loads of power ups. We're going to be seeing a variety of percentage plays, and people are really just trying to get through the game. Which, believe me, those matches are very interesting. Also extremely high variance as well.
I was just going to say, so it was really funny. You and I were talking on one of the qualifier races, the early ones. And I was talking about how, you have to make judgments and you have to go with backup strategy or consistent strategies because you'd be scared of going for pushing it for the absolute max. And then we had our race against like the top 4 in this tournament, and they just went all out the entire race. It was just as hard as they could go, they went, and it was amazing to see. But all of that strategy goes out the window when it's like, nope, they're just going to go for it.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting to see how those top players are going to start approaching their bracket matches. There are pros and cons to approaching it that way, but certainly that's up to each player to work out how they want to approach it. Just a quick GG to venomplay, finishing up at 37-41. And actually, considering the 1 or 2 things that really, really tripped him up, solid run, good start. But yeah, going up against Dots, it's always going to be super tough. Like, he's a top player, pretty much as expected. And his race time as well during qualifiers, super, super consistent. Like myself, he only did like 3 or 4, and yeah, he did really well on all of them.
One of the things I also do want to mention, just looking back at Venom's personal best, is that it says that he got it 10 days ago. So he got it during the qualifier. That suggests to me that he's been practicing this route, and so we might see. We might see a personal best. He's got one more chance at it. We might see. And I'm actually just going down the list. I'm seeing a lot of that where it's like personal best being set 10 days ago, 11 days ago, 15 days ago. So these are all from basically the qualifiers, I'm not going to be shocked if we see a big handful more of personal bests from all of these runners as we go into the bracketed tournament.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of PBs. I can pretty much say that with certainty. Yeah, as you said, Venom did PB during the qualifiers. Dots as well PB during the qualifiers. And cut his PB like by 20 seconds, which is absolutely insane. I would make a suggestion and say that one of the main reasons why Dots sort of just breezed with that PB is New Star World isn't a super popular category. Dots has had a lot of time to improve.
Mm-hmm.
And that is certainly one of the really awesome things about going back on PBs from a year or two ago. You just feel so much better. It feels, yeah, it does feel really good to know that you've improved. So Dots is probably just going through that. So,
and I do see, I mean, something else that's happened very recently is this category used to be marked as, I forget the exact term, but it was marked as kind of like an extra category.
Yeah,
so when you,
it was a miscellaneous category on the main board.
Right, on speedrun.com, and that has changed. So now it is one of the main categories that you just go to speedrun.com and you look up Super Mario World. So now it's right there. But when it was in the miscellaneous category, that alone is kind of a discouragement from running that category. So I mean, you know, now that we're doing this tournament, I mean, it's just it's giving everyone a reason to look at it and giving everyone a reason to practice these strategies and move forward.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And like this category traditionally has a lot of bad press and sort of just isn't viewed as the category that people want to do. But sort of on the contrary of that, if you're looking at the Japanese runners, how they have been all battling for the top times, and as well, whenever it comes to optimizing this category, it becomes serious. It's super tough. Although, having said that as well, it's probably the one category with the most sort of free world record. I don't want to say free, but it's certainly up for the taking. There are about 6 people at the moment I see that could world record this. And I honestly believe by the end of this tournament, we're going to be seeing at least one time better than we currently have, if not more.
Well, I won't ever forget watching, it was Desui, Meiba, and Louis, and I believe that it was Silver Star as well. The 4 of them were racing, and it was some of their first qualifiers, and Louis was sandbar away from taking the world record. If he had gotten sandbar, that would have been a new world record right there, and we would have watched it live, and it would have been absolutely amazing. I mean, it was still fantastic racing. It's still fantastic to watch it, but so close, so close.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was just, I know it sounds ridiculous to say so because of how much of a difference it was, but I was just verifying the result just to keep on top of it. Okay. It's all a process.
So we see that.
Are we about to get kicked off? Or yeah, we're about to get kicked off here. And there we go. We are going into match 2 now. Dots with a lead, 1-0, taking down that first match. I don't want to say very comfortably. Venom stayed so close, pretty much until FY2 decided no more. But yeah, Dots is going to be feeling good after that first match. And hopefully Venom realizes that was a decent performance and Dots just did what Dots does and has a good run.
I mean, I have to say, a 37xx time, still very impressive. I mean, I haven't done it. I've been trying for it. I have not done it. So, it's very difficult.
Oh my god, sorry, my mic was on. I didn't realize I was caught. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Continue. I didn't mean to interrupt you with my coughing there. sorry about that. That was very unprofessional. But yeah, we are. We're going through the motions here. We're going through Y3. We're getting it all started off again. But yeah, I'm hoping to see another close match. Hopefully, Venom can get some opportunities and be able to take advantage of them. But again, they're not going to come easy with Dots. Okay, heading into Y4. Not a super tough level overall unless you're going for that shell jump. Sort of more commonly referred to these days as a mid-air shell jump. And Dots attempts it. And actually looked very close. But yeah, that's super, super precise with the tiny, tiny time save that you get. And it certainly wouldn't be a risk with me commentating if I didn't mention that if you're not going for that spin jump or that shell jump, spin jump in the shell, get rid of it. Helps reduce lag. But other than that was YI4. So there is a chance that Venom may be a couple of frames ahead at this point just because he didn't attempt that shell jump. Whereas Dots attempted it and missed it. Wow. Wow. Very high 281. That was a good room one. And Venom getting the 281 this time as well. Very nice. Yeah, certainly far better result than last time. 279. Which, again, don't get me wrong, 279 door, totally fine. But certainly at this level you're really wanting to push that 281. And Venom with the swag, very nice. So I do believe my co-commentator has dropped just some internet issues, so hopefully we'll have them back in the room pretty soon. Didn't actually notice there. Yeah, so maybe Dots is ahead by about half a second or so. But obviously at this very early stage, any sort of minor lead is going to be very insignificant. At least you'd think. Yeah, looking out for that fast fly, you're wanting a 362 in this level. Assuming you approach that first cape grab, the way we saw there, that's the typical cape grab for this level. You can go super, super risky and go for a strat that we refer to as DP1 guy. You manipulate your what do you call it, your flight meter, and then you do a really specific jump, probably is frame perfect. And you can like sort of bop the Super Koopa while he's on the ground and grab the cape super fast. It's a really awesome strat. Probably the only category you'd ever stay it in are the 11 exit runs. Usually. I think it only saves like half a second. Also, Dots missing that pipe. It's not super important, but it's one of these things that can be frustrating. Okay. Dots not going for the bunkless strat, but sort of going for a more consistent version, and we actually see Venom get through that bunkless. And again, I'm perplexed as to why you wouldn't want to get rid of that shell. Switch it to the P-switch, because, I mean, last time the frame rules did not agree that last fish just destroyed that shell, but thankfully Venom got through there this time. I
see that. I see that a lot.
Welcome back.
What's that? I am sorry. I didn't know if you mentioned that I had left, because I know you're such a pro with commentary. You may have just talked the whole time. But no worries. I see that a lot with oh no. I'm sorry. I'm watching Venom trying to get that flying up to that secret exit there. Or that's not a secret secret exit. That is the every exit is a secret exit in a ghost house. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. But in Donut Secrets 1, I see a lot of runners switching the shell for the P-switch. You were mentioning, so I've always thought about it as, concerns that if you hit any kind of enemy, you instantly lose that shell with it.
Yep.
But there's other. Is there a frame rule concern? Is that what you were mentioning when I kind of stepped back in?
Well, I suppose you can lose that shell in two ways, as you mentioned. Well, both ways are related to interacting with enemies. And if you just swim into an enemy without cave spinning, you're going to lose your shell. You're just going to kill that enemy with the shell, and also the shell dies. But if you're holding the shell, you cave spin an enemy. It's not 100% whether you're going to kill that enemy and save your shell or not. Now, whenever you're setting up the third section of the S1, runners are going to be trying to be aware of if they're on a good frame rule or not. Very, very precise at times. Takes a long time to actually get a good grip of, but yeah, just switch to the P switch for the normal exit. It doesn't cost any time, I'm pretty sure. I don't think it costs any frames if done correctly. Like, any time at all. And it's just a lot easier and safer. The only thing I would mention about whenever you're switching that shell to the P switch is hold up whenever you're throwing the shell away. You don't want to throw that shell in front of you. I mean, for a couple of reasons, because it'll ricochet about everywhere. I believe whenever you're holding an item, your your horizontal momentum actually is faster than what the shell would be sort of flying about at, so you'd catch up with it and get hit. So yes, that's shells in water explained.
So I was just doing a little bit of very, very rough counting in my head to try and see where, how far apart they are in their race. And my really rough guesstimate, so don't quote me on this, is about 10 seconds. So Venom's about 10 seconds behind Dot right now.
Yeah, I mean, sort of just looking at it face value, sounds pretty bang on.
I did also account for the difference in time for their timers.
Okay, so we saw Dots ascend up there, and he did get kind of, I think he maybe got the corner clip, which it can cause issues if you sort of overreact to it, and this is our first instance of someone trying now desperately to get up here, but Venom taking a reasonably safe approach to it. Yeah, that's probably the way you want to approach that.
It's a really easy, mildly tricky. I mean, it's a difficulty 3 or difficulty 4 out of 10 or something to jump onto that other side and then spin jump, bounce, spin jump up, like Venom did there, as opposed to what you see a lot of runners do, where they get P-speed early on and rush through. Oh no!
Yeah, I think you're right in saying that it definitely has some difficulty to it. Although certainly for me, the bigger risk usually comes from that it tilts the absolute pants off everybody, and then you see people like trying to get like P-speed really, really quickly, and then just being like way overzealous with it. It is a very, very much a slippery slope. Venom has been really having a hard time with BS1, but okay, we're actually getting to see our first sort of like race strat. So Venom's grabbed this spring. He wants that backup power up. You know what? It's fair enough, I guess. Now there would be a cave you could pick up in Vanilla Fortress pretty much for free, but I guess if you fall down and vanilla secret 2 or 3 and then lose cape. Could be a good thing.
It is not, you know, if you don't go for it, you're gonna need it. That's Murphy's law. If you don't go for it, you're gonna need it.
Yeah, and I've seen a bunch of runners mess up that flight at the start of BS too. Sometimes those Koopas just psych you out, and you're like, "Oh, don't run into the Koopas," and then you jump like half an hour too early, and you don't get flight. And it gets weird from there. But yeah, Venom will have a bit of work to do. Venom's got to, at least mentality-wise, hold this together. Don't let, you know, those couple of losses get to him. But I mean, at this point as well, he certainly needs some opportunities from Dot and then to bank on those. But it very much is possible that if Dots just has another very, very solid run, that he can stay out of it ahead of him regardless. So Dots with that opportunity, but it's still tough for Dots just to pull a run out of the bag. But again, it's been a good start. There's nothing I could really point to yet in Dot's run where he's lost any time. It's been solid.
Oh, it's painful to watch that. But is that the before? That's before the semi-free cape. So he's gonna pick up another backup cape right here. There we go. You know, I see that. So Venom on that first room of the Vanilla Fortress was screen scrolling there. We don't see too much of that. I know that in the Valley of Bowser Fortress, we're going to see some screen scrolling as well to make it easier to get through those first crushers. I'm just trying to think of any other opportunities where screen scrolling can really help. It's interesting to see whenever I see it, just to see. It's something that speedrunners always kind of amaze me. Any little tiny mechanic, that means that if there's a mechanic, there's something you can take advantage of in some way, shape, or form to save frames, to save seconds, to make levels faster, and it's amazing to see it in action. We should be getting through this auto scroller pretty easily. It's actually really funny in that last little room at the end of this Better Bridge 1 with the auto scroller, jumping from the pipe to the gold tape. It's interesting to see different ways of doing that. I myself, whenever I do it, you're trying to avoid the gold tape as much as possible in these runs, because if you do get 100 bonus points, then you will go to a bonus room, which is just an extreme amount of wasted time. So on the this level in particular, it kind of almost sets you up to hit that gold tape. Dotsarecool already making it to Ludwig's castle. I believe in the last run, Dots was switching over to the Fire Flower to save time. Is he going to do that again? He is, yes. Not to save time, but I consider it a much easier strategy to run this room with the Fire Flower as opposed to the cave. Very handily getting through this. course, one-shotting Ludwig with the Fire Flower. It's going to be really interesting to see as Venom comes into Ludwig's castle. He does not have a Fire Flower he can switch to, and for the life of me, I can't remember which strategy, if he was going to go, if he did the Cape strategy or the Fire Flower first on the first run, going into room 2 of Ludwig's castle. So we're going to see that in just a moment here. Cape cancel, and then oh, and that looked like, I mean, very comfortable with that strategy, but he didn't fly through the rest of the room. That suggests to me that maybe he's much more comfortable with the Fire Flower strategy. And then coming in with the Ludwig fight at the end of this castle, he's going to get the opportunity to do a little miniature skip. Obviously, the one-shotting by firing 2 fireballs and then jumping on him, you one-shot him. Is he going to do the skip? Oh, he got the skip. Excellent. Oh, Dotsarecool. He went for the wings on Forest of Illusion 1, but unfortunately didn't catch it. And then we're going to see Dots move on to Forest of Illusion 2. And let's see if he can get the Yoshi clip. This is another major gatekeeping point in this run.
Wow, nice again. First try clip, not getting kicked out. That's what I like to see. Yeah, Venom got a bit unlucky last time. It was a bit of a shame. It sort of led to a domino effect. But hopefully we can see a bit less bad luck for Venom. And certainly as well, whenever you're coming from behind and also getting served the bad luck. Oh, okay, Dot's just clipping back in there and bonking. But whenever you're whenever you're fighting a deficit and also fighting bad luck, it's going to be hard for that to work out. But yeah, I've better hopes for Venom this time.
Is Venom is not going for wings, is he? Because I think he grabbed a red shell, so there's no way you can't get wings with a red shell because Yoshi's going to fire those out as fireball. So you can't just drop the shell down to kind of use it as a tool.
Yeah, Forest of Illusion 1 wings pretty much is a strat that we're probably only going to see that single-digit seed. Super, super tough. Mm-hmm. And you almost can't afford to miss it at all for the save time. Well, I mean, you can miss it like once or twice, but once you're getting to that stage, it gets harder the more you miss it because you're getting into your own head. You could be over-adjusting.
Oh!
Are you serious? Are you serious? That is... Oh, no way. I'm so tilted. The world is tilted. Oh.
There we go. Venom got the clip. Clip.
I might have lost it if he didn't get it that time. But damn, this is being hard for Venom. Oh my goodness, like Dot's getting kind of close again. Now, he was a lot more comfortable this time, but it just didn't seem like the super comfortable it's gonna work every time where I play. But having said that, even if Dots sort of does have like a half-life that he needs, Dots has the experience to just know when it's good. So having that ability to adjust and sort of work it out on the fly, it comes with a lot of experience. Very well done. And pretty much with the exception of not getting wings, this run continues to be fairly, it would be hard to criticize it. It's been really, really good. Yeah, Dots can just see something. Wouldn't surprise me.
I saw that in the chat. You know what? it ceases to amaze me seeing the top runners. Things where when they're flying, they can tell the difference between a 50 and a 51 speed and things like that. So, I mean, understanding those subtitles, I know that's so hard, but I almost wouldn't put it past these runners.
So whenever it comes to identifying flight speed, I'm sort of getting better at that, because identifying flight speeds is something that needs time. It took me years to even really start to get a grip on it. But whenever people ask me for suggestions, well, the first thing I would always say is I would check out Dots' tutorial. It's really, really effective. It's very much fit for purpose. But the other suggestion I would give is sort of try and see the difference between the extremes. Try and identify like a 47 or a 40 versus a 50 or a 51.
Sure.
Because at least those flight speeds should be enough where you're like, this seems kind of slow, or, whoa, this seems like I'm barely dragging at all. This seems really fast. So it is one of those things that needs time. Also, depending on the type of TV you have, can actually make it easier or not. It's sort of weird. Resolution is going to play a big part. LCD versus CRT.
Sure.
Although CRT is always recommended.
Why is that? That's a weird statement to make, that a CRT would be better than a LCD.
Well, CRT TV, better for, well, I was going to say retro consoles and stuff like that, but pretty much for anything, because it's got less input delay. So it's more responsive whenever it's coming down to those single frame tricks. Sorry, my cats are playing with the ball.
No worries. I mean, that can always be so interesting. There's a lot of these tricks. They talk about it in baseball, where the speed of the baseball when pitched is so fast that a batter doesn't have the chance to respond to it. So what's actually going on is the most batters in professional baseball will kind of make a guess at what type of pitch is coming and where the ball is going to be. They're not reacting to where the ball actually is. And I'm positive that we're seeing that as well with speedrunners, that it's like, we know the level that's coming ahead, we know what enemies are going to be coming at us, and so it's like in the next couple frames we make choices about what we think is going to happen coming up, rather than actually making reactive moves. Especially in something like Super Mario, where I mean, there absolutely is RNG moments, but I would say a higher percentage of this game is pretty well laid out, and we're going to see enemies doing the same thing over and over and over again. Blame everything on lag. Sorry, I just looked at the chat, and I like that advice. I'm just going to blame everything on lag from now on with my speedrun. Because if it works, I mean, it works. Just go with it.
So
99% of mistakes are controller issues.
So I would even go as far to suggest that with your setup in particular, you probably have one of the biggest deficits in terms of input delay. Because, right, so being on a CRT TV, that helps. Also being on console, that will reduce delay.
Mm-hmm.
Being on a wired controller will also make a difference, and not playing on the Z-SNES will also make a difference. So you've pretty much ticked 4 out of 4 there.
So the fact that I can compete at all is amazing. Is that what you're saying?
Sorry?
The fact that I can compete at all is amazing. Is that what you're saying? Is that?
I mean, to an extent. Now, the thing is, you're going to be adjusted like half a second in that direction or whatever. But you're going to find whenever you move to a more sort of recommended setup eventually, you know, when things allow, because you know, things are tough, stuff has to be bought. You're going to find your game will improve instantly. Even though you will automatically make those adjustments, you will find overnight it's revolutionary. I would go as far as say that. Whenever I got my console, I'd run this game for 4 years, and within 4 days, I'd be in every category I'd run. So,
oh wow!
But everybody says
that. Ow! That was painful to watch. That on Venom's run, Crusher just grabbing him and throwing him right into the ground. I'm sorry to interrupt there, but oh. Someone actually has an emote. It's not speed gaming. Speed gaming doesn't have that emote of Mario versus the Crusher.
That's Carrick that has that. But
okay.
Dot's doing what I somehow did 4 times in a row in my 4 restream races, but getting through that second boo ring without getting hit. I've come to the conclusion it's actually a lot more doable than a lot of people have said. But well, first of all, you're wanting to go for the double D spawn if you're really wanting to push the boat out in that room, but that strat is definitely number 2.
Well, you know what? I will tell you as a newer runner that the fact that those boo rings are underwater greatly lowers the difficulty as compared to in Donut Secret Ghost House, where you have to face off against a boo ring for 11 exit. Much more difficult above water.
Yeah, at least vertically. So getting through them. So if you're in the middle of the boo ring and you're able to swim up through it, it's going to be easier because your top speed when swimming up is pretty damn high. But getting through it horizontally actually might be tighter. I'm not sure, but certainly vertically it is a bunch easier. I'm going to close the door. Maybe that can still be heard in the background.
Silver Star is mentioning that being small also helps way more than water. I agree with that, absolutely, because that's going to cut your hitbox in half. And I understand, I believe that also with Yoshi adds more to your hitbox as well. It's almost like now you're dealing with like 2.5 or 2.25 hitboxes that you have to deal with.
Yeah, Yoshi does increase your hitbox quite a lot. Actually, a good way to sort of demonstrate that is if you go into Sandbar with Yoshi, you're going to have a bad time.
I don't...
Certainly, if you're not intentionally going with super tight sort of cycles, you're just going to die. And probably back in 2013, I was sort of just asked, "Do you want to do a new Star World race?" And I was like, "Yes, let's do it." My first time ever running the category, and I went into the Sandbar with Yoshi, and I died within the first, first 2 screens, probably.
Yeah. I actually have another question for you, being a little bit more of an experienced runner. In Valley of Bowser 2 with Sandbar, I have watched videos from Dode, who's done on his videos of doing 96 exits, or actually it was jumping through his 2016 exits. He was doing a Sandbar with Yoshi, or he was doing like a clip with Yoshi in that level. Is that, are you familiar with that one?
No. I don't think so. Silver Star? No, my first instinct, not being 100% sure what you're talking about, is it almost sounds like flag. I don't know, maybe there's some sort of viable strat that I don't know about. Whenever it comes to clips and stuff and FY, or not FY2, VOB2, Superstar's normally a good person to ask. Another person that would definitely be a good person to ask is someone who I think is going to really turn up in this tournament, and for some reason people seem to go under the radar again. That's a big mistake. Fitz can get world record. He's good enough to do it.
Fitz is currently at 33 minutes, and it looks like a frame or two under 30 a second. 33 minutes and a frame under 1 second. There we go.
Yeah, I believe his some
There's
of that.
no Yoshi Sandbar clip.
3240.
I have to watch those videos. I have to watch Joe's videos again, because maybe I'm just crazy. It's very possible that I'm crazy.
Are you certain that it's in Valley of Visor 2? Yeah? Now, the one thing, whenever I think of Yoshi and Valley of Visor 2 Room 2, the first thing that comes to mind is if you're doing the normal exit, you're just going to grab the wings. Probably, I would know that from 96. It skips like half the level and it's super fast. Just that.
Well, it's not. It's half the level distance-wise, but it's like 3/4 of the level time-wise. You're oof. Sorry, watching Venom attempting the sandbar and just not getting it. But I mean, you're skipping all of the virtual auto scroller part of of those cycles.
Yeah. And yeah, Silver, I agree, although this is Dude we're talking about, so there very much is the possibility that he just has this random strat that he did for fun. I'm not sure.
That's very true too.
But certainly in terms of, is there a strat with Yoshi for the secret exit that would be faster? You know, oh my goodness, I'm getting the... nice. He's not going to get the cycle to actually get up there, but that's a bonus. Venom treating us. And just remember as well, that's the first sandbar that we've seen off the main bracket. The first one for this match. Dots has had 2 chances to get it, he hasn't. So
is that? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Count as 1 each.
The Dots' PB is 33:25. He is.
That was.
Wow.
I think we call that a damn good run. That was.
Yes.
And. Yeah, I mean, Dots definitely shouldn't be underestimated. But at the same time, I believe he's actually in round 3 very likely to come up against Fitz, and that is going to be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming I have the brackets sort of worked out in my mind correctly, Fitz versus Dots, that's going to be such an underrated match. That would be such a strong matchup. But big GG to Dots. He is our first winner of the main bracket going into round 3. Exclamation mark SMW will give you a link to the bracket, the schedule, everything you need to know. Yeah, as Silver said, it's very likely that we're going to see Dots versus Fitz. Fitz, of course, has to win his round 2 match, but he is a huge favorite going into that. But anyway, we are going to get some invites out to the players. There's a good chance that we'll hear from at least one of our runners, but certainly if Dots decides to join us, I'm very interested to hear about how he feels about that second run. That second run was so hot, didn't get sandbar, and there were a couple of places where he lost a reasonable amount of time, which he's going to remember. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Round 3, we're very likely to have Louis versus Bob, which is just, I mean, it's an incredible matchup that I would always want to be there for front row seats, but it's a shame that we're having it so early. Certainly, if we were seated on PB, we would have no chance of staying it that early. You could probably only see something like Louis versus Bob in round 5, if not just the finals. But like I say, congrats to Dots. We have our first winner. Also, I guess it's worthwhile mentioning that he's going to be happy to take it 2-0. You certainly, you don't want to take that first one and then have it even up. That's pressure. I would say on the flip side, if you lose that first one, you come back and win that second, you've nothing to lose. You had everything to lose in that first match, and now you've got a chance. And that's why that sort of dynamic of winning the first one and losing the second can really cycle a lot of players out.
Well, not just that. I mean, just think of the sheer time commitment, because minimum. I mean, if your world record pace is 32 minutes, let's just say 33 minutes. So minimum 2 races is 66 minutes, so over an hour. Going into a third race, you're now an hour and 9 minutes. Or not an hour and 9 minutes. Basic math, come on, Alex. So an hour and 40 minutes. I mean, and that's assuming that you're getting a 33-minute time, which, I mean, only 7 people in the world have done so far. So, I mean, it's going to be more than an hour and 40 minutes of time commitment.
Yeah, Dark Magician actually mentioning something. Oh, sorry, actually, very quickly. Congrats to venomplay, finishing up with 37-12. At least in terms of consistency. Or delivering on that front. Yeah, it's really, really good, especially with that death in Council 6. But, yeah, what Dark Magician said there, the 2015 tournament would be totally unrecognizable today. Almost, I mean, 2015 is still quite late in SMW speedrunning, but almost like it's still prototype speedrunning SMW. Wasn't so much a science, it just, can you play the game really well? And that's not to say that the top runners back then weren't like solid SMW scientists with like a very clear way on how to be efficient in learning, grinding, practicing, but at least back then the majority of players were taking the approach of, I'm going to try and not die all the time. And you'd be seeing like a 37-12 back in 2015 probably wins like 75% of the time. And if it doesn't, you can feel proud that you posted a semi-reasonable time. So,
I mean, it's the same thing. Whenever the Olympics come up, you always see it all over Facebook, where it's like comparisons of like the 1918 Olympics versus the 2018 Olympics, and someone doing a vault, and all they're doing is jumping, 5 feet off the ground, and then today. Just in order to compete, you have to do like 6 flips and twist and put on and take off rollerblades. I mean, just to even show up, So I mean, just with the internet bringing us all together and all of us taking advantage of these strategies over and over and over again, and just working to get these times down harder and harder. I mean, it's amazing to watch, but it does make it so difficult.
Yeah, so that was our first match, and if you have a quick look at the bracket, you'll see that in total there are 35 of these best of 3 matches. Now, there's something I actually want to clarify. I'm not sure if this is set in stone or not, or maybe I just haven't read the rules of the tournament correctly, whether those later matches, say the finals, are going to be best of 5, maybe possibly even the semi-finals as well, but there will be 35 matches. Pretty much whenever you look at past SMW tournaments, it's quite a small number, so all of these matches are so important. Pretty much every match is important, instead of like having 150 matches where it takes a lot of time to sort of build hype. But we've been through round one, like a proper round one of qualifiers, and it's good to see this develop. It's going to be very, very interesting as well.
Yeah, I'm.
Both players are also passing up in interviews. Dots quietly happy with those 2 runs that he posted. So, hey, congrats again. I don't know what to say. They were just really solid.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, I just want to mention that 37 minutes, like that is a fantastic time. I mean, we're gonna see a little bit lower, but that is very difficult, very amazing accomplishment.
I totally agree with you. And as previously mentioned, Venom has already made massive improvements during this tournament, and he's probably going to be inspired to continue that. I look forward to seeing what 2019 holds for him as well. There are a lot of hugely underrated SMW speedrunners in the Brazilian community. Marcelo, Dunkel, Yoshi. I mean, I'm not going to start naming people because there are actually like 10 or 20 people that come to mind. But
Sure.
they're all very, very strong players. And we're going to see how that develops.
I see that you brought this up, but I want to just echo kind of the thing that you posted in chat. That if you enjoyed watching these runners, these are great people to follow. Twitch.tv/Dotsarecool. Dotsarecool P at the end. Is that correct with the P at the end of his name?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Well, the funny thing that I brought that up because venomplay, he has an underscore at the end of his name. As well, so that as well is not on screen. So both of them, the link is right there in chat if you want to check them out and follow them. Ben, where can people find you? You're Ben SMW.
Oh, right, okay. People can find us both at !C. Posting those links in chat. I'm Ben SMW on the old Twitch machine. And Durwood is Durwood773 on all platforms, I believe.
Basically, you can find if there is a website on the internet, I am Durwood773 on it.
I'm sort of moving towards just being so how would I put it, infamous that I can somehow become like Cher, just one name. It's like
just Ben.
Everybody knows who you're talking about. Cher, Bono.
You have to be like Cher is not a common name, so you'd have to be like Ben's the. Or I'm trying to pronounce
that's true. I'm competing with a lot of Bens out there. I can't even get Ben on Discord. There's other 10,000 Bens on Discord.
Yeah, I mean, I had to go through 772 other Durwoods to get my screen. No, I don't know. I don't know how many other.
that feeling when Durwood 1 through 772 is taken.
Yeah. I could have just not done a number. Oh no! Why did I? And
wow, skinny seahorse for the 100 bits. That's very, very generous. And actually, you'll notice in chat as well that message from the bot. Definitely check that out.
Oh wow!
Speed Gaming 3 died. I'm sure people are on that. But anyway, I guess it's time for us to wrap up. We're sitting on the end screen. I've been rambling. Your commentary has been amazing, though. Thank you so much.
Oh, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for having me.
Any thoughts? Any final conclusion?
I feel like I should say something important, but I don't do that. Do we know what's coming up next?
I should know what's coming up next, but exclamation mark schedule maybe. I can get it up here.
Oh, I see.
But I just want to say a very quick thanks to the Speed Gaming team. Something I always mention is just how wonderfully organized it is. Just all the work and dedication that huge team put into it, and it's great to have SMW on the Speed Gaming Network. It's been far too long, and it's good to see it play out as expected. So I'm having a lot of fun.
Absolutely, this has been fantastic.
But let's have a quick look. Coming up next on Speed Gaming. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's technically Thursday here, but we're still on Wednesday everywhere else. So I don't know what's coming up next, but you can probably expect Link to the Past Rando, Super Metroid, and all that good stuff. But I'm done for now. Actually, that is one thing that we should very quickly mention. Our next matches. I don't think we've any matches tomorrow, but on Friday we have a lot of matches. We have quite a few matches. So on Friday, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern, we have Demon Battler versus Thug KJ. That's really close. I believe that's a round one match. Then after that, at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have Shady Force versus Calco. That is going to be a headliner match. We have another round two match at 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday. Classic James versus IDABS. IDABS is a very top player, and James has made so much solid progress during this tournament. I've actually been very impressed by how he's performed. Also at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have Retro Bob versus Mistaken, which Mistaken is good school. Mistaken will not make it free for Bob. You know, Bob's a huge favorite, but Mistaken will challenge him. There's no doubt about it. And at 9 p.m. Eastern Friday, finally, we have Speed Gaming's own Dark Magician versus SMW's own me, I guess. So that's going to be interesting.
I was wondering how you're going to introduce yourself
for sure. So yeah, so Friday is the day to show up.
I want to just quickly mention, because I have had such problems if I don't make this 100% clear. It starts at 6 p.m. Friday Eastern time, so adjust accordingly depending on what time zone you're in.
Yes, my match actually starts at 2 a.m. my time, so
oh my gosh,
I will be adjusting quite heavily for that. Well, actually, if anybody knows me, I won't be adjusting too much to be awake at 2 a.m. But yeah, I'll just be working later tomorrow. Anyway, thanks so much everybody for watching, hanging out, supporting the runners. !R if you want more of these guys. !C if you want more of us. And certainly follow the Speed Gaming channels if you want more SMW. And tournaments 24/7, 365. So there we go.
Okay, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, well, I mean, thank you for being here. It's been great. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, everybody. It's been a lot of fun.
Some time of day, whatever time of day it is. Have a good one.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.